What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Riff Tacos podcast. My name is Paul Misko, and last night I got to record one of my favorite episodes so far. I hung out with Weyandt and Scott, vocalist and guitarist for the legendary Zao. They've been core members of the band since the late 90s, out there killing it for over 25 years. They just got off tour, so we talked about that. They told me they're working on some new music, hopefully for next year, which I'm really excited for. I like their later catalog better than the earlier stuff. I don't have the attachment to the early records simply because I just didn't know about them. I found out about them way later, but in listening back to everything this week, I was like, damn, the Well-Intentioned Virus and Crimson Corridor are absolutely fantastic. I think it's their best work. So I'm stoked to see what they do next. They also dropped a really sick live performance video. If you haven't seen it yet, it's called Zao Live from the Church, which is a recording studio in Pittsburgh. It's cinematically shot. It sounds incredible. One of the best live performance videos I've ever seen. So definitely go check that out right now. They're not right now. Watch this first and then go watch that after. But we also, near the end of the episode, we had a problem with Scott's camera. So he drops off for the last few minutes, but he's there for the whole time otherwise. So just wanted to warn you about that. But let's get going. If you're enjoying the podcast, please remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you're a regular watcher, please do me a favor and check that you are subscribed, because something like 70% of the people who regularly watch the podcast are not subscribed. And that's the best way to help me out. It's free and helps me reach new people. If you're on Apple or Spotify, please leave a rating over there. That would mean a lot to me and help tell other people who stumble on the show that I don't totally suck. So appreciate it. And if you're new, thanks for stopping by. This is Riff Tacos with Zao. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this. I don't think we ever met back in the day, so it's great to meet you.
How? Yeah, I did. It sucks because like we were fans. Your singer came to a recent show, and we were like, why have we not played shows together?
Was it Will or Sean?
I think it was Will.
Will, okay. Were you guys in North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you just got off the road, right?
Yeah, we just got back like one Sunday night, Monday morning, Saturday night. That's what it was. Yeah.
Nice. And you were out for a couple weeks?
Yeah, just like 11, 12 days, something like that.
How was that?
Pretty awesome, dude. It was, we keep them short because of just work and life and old.
It's like me.
Yeah. But no, it was great, dude. Honestly, like, I feel like since we started doing the touring again, every tour gets better and better. So like this one was really cool.
Yeah. How often are you guys playing now?
What would you say, Dan? Like maybe like 3 weeks out of the year. And then we do like little festival hits, stuff like that. So nothing like really extensive, but
usually one long, like not long, one like 10 to like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then a bunch of like weekend warrior stuff. But we're consistent. I feel like, like it's not a lot, but it's consistent. So
I think being like older guys like us getting back on the road last year, like that would have probably felt like the max to me. Like, let's do, if we could even do that much, but I'm the only one without kids. So I'm like, let's go. And then like, everyone's like, yeah, I can't do that. Two of the guys own businesses and stuff. So,
dude, it's so tough to like, kind of like figure all that out because like 3 of us have kids and then, Russ and Marty don't. But like Russ and Marty also like don't necessarily want to go out any longer than we do. Like I think it all works out pretty good. We've been pretty good with like being in communication with each other and making sure we're doing what everybody wants to do. And when we started up again, we were like, literally, this has to be fun or we're like not going to do it. So
yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. We release our own records. We run our own label. Everything's all on us. So like, if we're not stoked or having fun, like we don't have any obligations, so.
Right. These days you can do that. That's like the best way to go about it. There's no pressure from a label or how often you have to be out. And then like, you also don't burn people out. Like before, I remember just on tour nonstop and we're like, we were just fucking here. And it's like California.
Yeah.
And now, it's like, so you're coming around less frequently. So people are more excited to see you.
That's kind of like what we thought too. I know there's the whole idea or the mindset of like, well, if you hit places 15 times, you're gonna, get more people. Nah, maybe, but like, dude, that never really worked for us. I mean, I feel like the band got to a point, and like there wasn't really much else we could do if we didn't want to like be like douchey and do shitty things. So it's like we're just weird dudes that just want to play heavy music. So we're
Yeah.
like, I don't care how much bigger we get. Dude, I'm like so stoked and happy with the people we have. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, to be doing it as long as you guys have, and you guys have been core members since the late 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's insane to still be going and like still doing. Like, I watched your video live from the church just before we got on. Like, that is so fucking sick.
Dude, thank you. Yeah, we really busted our asses on that thing. Like, had like Russ sort of has like ins in the movie industry in Pittsburgh because he was doing a bunch of stuff with them. That's like what he went to school for. And he just had a bunch of really great friends and really great people that like were like camera operators, editors, the guy that directed it pretty much. The guy that does the coloring. I mean, we had just great people behind us, and obviously to the studio, and like our engineer that does all the records with us, Dave, and like Phil was the guy that basically directed the film part of it. But with top-notch people with good equipment, and we just made sure that we did it the best we could do it instead of releasing half-ass stuff.
Yeah, like so many live recordings from bands, they do stuff like that. It doesn't sound too good, and you're just like, like this sounds fantastic. It looks really cinematic. It's really well done.
Thank you. Yeah, we really made sure to do something different. We wanted it to look like film, and we wanted it to sound like our records. So we just did it in the studio. We do our records in.
Yeah. So how long did you guys practice for that? Was it like preparing for like a set, like a tour?
Probably, Dan, like maybe like 3 or 4 days of rehearsals or something.
Yeah, because we did a lot of songs that we felt would be like cool to play live if you're sitting on your couch watching it, you know what I mean? And not in like a live like club atmosphere. So we did play a bunch of stuff that we like had to learn or relearn because it was stuff that we just didn't think would work like in a live set. So I think it was 3 or 4 days, and then we did like a ton of just like checking everything. I feel like we rehearsed a ton too. That was a cool experience. And I feel like because that's where we recorded, it was pretty laid back. It was a very like familiar setting, which I think was a big part of it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great.
It's like if you could do it at your house, It's like,
yeah. Who came up with the idea to do that?
Dude, I mean, we always have little brainstorming sessions with like ideas of what we want to do. I'm pretty sure like Jeff might have threw it out at first, like, hey, doing like a live. Well, and honestly too, I think
it was COVID as well. So I feel like a lot of bands were doing like online. I feel like that's how it started. Like, thinking that kind of general idea was cool, but trying to think of a way to do it a little differently, or you know what I mean? And then it just took a while to get everything together, and it was still on that tail end of like, it was a bit weird, like going out shows and stuff were happening, but it wasn't like that, like back to, kind of how it is now, pretty regular and stuff. So
was it like 2021?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. It was like like Dan was saying, it's like, it was pretty much when like people were starting to think about having shows, but they weren't like really widespread. And I remember watching a couple of friends bands that did some of these streams, and we were like, man, like you just said, like the stream's great, but they obviously aren't, they're just playing at like a club, and they probably have like whoever does their sound when they go out on tour, they probably just kind of like went into the board and just kind of did it that way. We actually just did it like a record. So our plan was like, we're not going to do like a live stream. We're going to do a live thing, but we'll like mix it and everything too, and then put it out as a live stream.
Yeah, it's like watching a music video but with live audio. It's like, it's really cool. I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like that.
Cool. Dude, that's what we were hoping.
Yeah, it started off though just talking about I think doing something like that when you couldn't play shows, and it just kind of like mutated over time and became what it was, I guess. Um, but yeah, and I think a lot of it was actually like Russ and Jeff. I feel like because Russ had the connections and Jeff Jeff's like gets things moving, gets things done. But
So back to the tour, like speaking of set lists, like how do you guys with such a big catalog choose songs for a set these days?
we just know going into it that there's going to be a ton of songs that we all want to play that we don't. Like every tour we do, there's always like, we're not playing stuff that I'd love to play or like somebody else would love to play. I think we've gotten to the point where we kind of like, which kind of gets a little crappy, but like we kind of know what people want to hear, and then we mix that with like things that we definitely want to play. And I think there's a little bit of a hindrance because like Jeff lives in Brooklyn, so we're a little far apart. So like doing rehearsals really does like kind of happen right before we leave. But I feel like, there's definitely like more that we could be playing that hopefully, in the future we can maybe do some new stuff. But
yeah, it's hard to balance making yourselves happy and the fans too.
I think the main criteria though is tuning in the sense of like going in a way where blocks of songs that are in different tunings, just so you don't have to retune after every song. And then we do also keep track of what we play and try not to do a ton of repeats. You know what I mean? It's like we'll save set lists and be like, maybe people wanted to hear this last time, or just try to like mix it up. So if you saw us a couple years ago, you're not seeing the same set. You know what I mean? 3 years later or whatever. And besides that, it's just we'll start texting ahead of time too, and just certain people will be like, I really want to play this run, or I don't want to play this run, and then that's when we get together to practice. That's the first thing we do is like iron out the set list. And it's pretty democratic process, I feel like, in the sense of like everyone has a say. And
oh yeah, we definitely try to make sure everybody's stoked about the set list, but I know there's songs that like we've never played that I'm like, oh god, it's like my favorite fucking song we don't play.
dude, we would just play all new stuff. I feel like if we didn't, you know what I mean, like maybe like stuff from Virus Up, probably, you know what I mean, if not whatever, but it's just funner to play. I don't know. Or I don't know.
Are you guys personally leaning towards older stuff or newer stuff or just a mix?
I mean, if I could like cut off, if I could like totally forget some years of the band, I would totally do that happily. Yeah, I don't know, like, man, it's so weird. It's like, I understand people's connection with certain songs. I have the same thing with bands I like. And, I definitely completely understand that. But like, I feel like, especially with us, like there's been, so many weird things that have happened in the band and like in the past and the way we did things. And like, I feel like, there's a definite difference between certain years of the band and other years of like the band and like just the maturity of writing. Like, I feel like, there were times when maybe we like threw stuff together, unfortunately, which we didn't want to do. Sometimes we did and sometimes we did. But like literally ever since, Jeff joined the band, like there hasn't been a thrown together record. You know what I mean? Like things are like worked on and worked on and worked on. So obviously when you pour blood, sweat, and tears into stuff, you're way more connected to it. And I feel like the last few things that we've done as a band have been like, for me, my most proud musical achievements, but I get it,
I would agree as a fan. I didn't know about you guys in the late 90s, early 2000s. I was a little bit young and I was listening to Korn and Slipknot at the time. So finding like a cool underground, metalcore, whatever band at the time. So I didn't hear about you guys till later. So I don't have that bias of attachment to the first records like some people do. So I was listening to your catalog like all week and, like kind of refamiliarizing myself with the stuff I did know, listening to new stuff. I agree. I think your new stuff is absolutely the best. The newer records, it's fantastic.
Dude, the songs, like even just as the guitar player and like just as like a listener, like I can listen to pretty much everything from the last couple years. Like, I do. But yeah, no, it's yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
People like what they like, and certain people like, especially like they love the way that old stuff makes them feel. So like you can't argue that with
There's
people.
something about that imprint, those imprint years of when you're a teenager, like you just get stuck in that.
Yep.
And it
I know,
lasts
dude.
forever.
I mean, I do that too. Like, there's some bands that I don't know. You know what though, dude? I give every record a chance, man. I never do that. I'm never like, oh, I'm never gonna. I like this stuff. I listen to everything. Like, but I will say, like, just for example, Queens of the Stone Age, like Songs for the Deaf's probably one of the like from start to finish best records ever, and I don't know if they'll ever really top that one. But it's not like newer stuff is like, oh, it's not good. It's just, man, they did too good on that record.
Yeah, sometimes you just catch that lightning in a bottle, and it's hard to, even though you're still just as talented, you're still just as passionate, like to touch that again. Something just happens, at the right place, right time. I don't know what it is.
And you can tell those guys worked on that. Like, I feel like there's some things that we have put out that you can be like, doesn't sound like they worked on that.
Yeah. Was that like being in that, or that kind of like mindset kind of lead to the hiatus, or?
I mean, I think more, it was just more like life things, like I think, man, there's just so much stuff when you're young, as you can attest to. And I'm sure, and I don't want to, dude, I always do this. Like, I want Dan to talk. I feel terrible. I don't like, but like, I feel like there's like, just like a lot of life things that when you're young, you don't even recognize and realize, I think that there's like a lot of like things that probably should have been like way easier to deal with, that like, because you're young and you're, gunning and whatever, like things weren't dealt with correctly. And, now I look back and I'm like, man, I can see like, oh, I was an asshole then. Maybe I was part of this. And like, but when it's happening to you, you're like, oh, he's like these guys are the assholes. No, it's like everybody's kind of a piece of shit.
For sure. Do you think like we felt the same way looking back? Like our last record we did before we broke up, like I have so many issues with it. It was some songs were just one take. We threw it together in the practice spot, and then boom, that was it. We didn't revisit anything. But coming around again and doing this like reunion run we did, I feel like being more mature goes so far in every aspect of running the band as a business and doing everything correctly. And we didn't ever really fight. Like no one ever really fought. We were very lucky with that. But just being more mature and like if we toured now, it would go so much smoother and be so much better. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. No, you're totally right, Dan. I'm gonna let you say.
I like to sometimes like to listen as well. And I feel like it goes real smooth now. You know what I mean? I think it's partially too because prior it's set up. You know what I mean? Everyone's involved, and but yeah, I can attest it's night and day than what it used to be. You know what I mean? Prioritizing like being on time and taking care of your bills and stuff. I don't drink anymore, so you know what I mean. It's the opposite of how I used to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like people coming to find me and pull me out of places, type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Definitely been there, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like too, it's a crazy time in life, like that. I don't know. When you hit that age, you start thinking about shit like, man, I maybe like want to get a house one day. Like, you know what I mean? And you're like touring and just eating shit. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of where we were at all pre-hiatus, where you're doing the band and you're like having, I don't know, you're having a good time, and it's like you're seeing a little bit of like growth, but you're getting maybe opportunities at home, or you know what I mean, or this and that. To like, if I do this, I can like take care of this and that. And I don't know. And I feel like once you're past that, that's when it's like much easier to, you know what I mean? Once you're like are a bit established, it's easier to like take inventory and like figure out how to make it work, you know?
Yeah. When you're young, it's like you're just happy to be on the road, and you're like, let's do everything. We'll just tour forever because this is more fun than being at home and having whatever crappy job you'd have when you're 20 years old or whatever. And then you eventually hit that age where you're like, ooh, how am I gonna ever, like, I couldn't even afford an apartment back in the day. I'd lived at my friend's house when I came home. Like, so it was like, is there ever going to be any money in this? Like, what do we do? And some of the other guys were like ready to start their lives and have kids and shit. And it's like, if this isn't going to pay for it, then shit, what are we doing here?
Yeah. No, I think every band kind of hits that wall eventually. Cause like, especially if you're doing music like that's going to have, it's a genre that's not necessarily like, I mean, and I don't think any of us get into the band and be like, oh, we're going to get big and make money and blah, blah, blah. But like,
No.
Our style of music is definitely not a style of music you play to be like, I'm going to be on the radio someday. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, there's a point in time where you're like, man, this is cool. But like, oof, I'm like, Taco Bell's cool for like a week.
Yeah.
I can't eat this anymore. So yeah, I think Dan hit the nail on the head. Like you just life stuff kind of hits you and you start to figure it out and you're trying to get through it. And then, like Dan said, when you come on the other side of it, we're like, hey, we all did this family stuff and we all like kind of like figured ourselves out and got jobs. And, we have this unbelievably like impossible thing that can happen, right? Like being in a band and having people care is literally like magic. I still don't understand it or fathom it. Like every time we go out, dude, I just can't believe that one, we're our age and we're able to do it, that people still care enough to even come. Like, dude, like Crowbar just played in Pittsburgh. I love Crowbar. I'm too tired. I couldn't go see Crowbar. Like,
I get
like,
that. Yeah.
Dude, so people like come to see us and I'm just like, it completely blows my mind. And we're so appreciative of the fan base. And like, I think that's the other thing too. Like, I don't think we write music to like, or play, do tours to like cater to fans because you can't do that. But like, our fans are like part of the team with us. So like, I know we kind of like know like, hey, this is what people are going to be stoked about. And like, the nice thing is when you have the fans, they come up to you and they're like, dude, your new stuff, totally new level. Love it. Or when we see people singing the newer songs more, or like getting excited about like the songs we're playing from the last record, that's the kind of stuff that like I'm always like kind of attentive and I'm paying attention on stage, even when, sometimes I'm out in another world, but dude, I'll see that kind of stuff. And it's like, you get in the van a little lighter and happier.
Yeah. There's no feeling like being on stage to a good crowd. Like it never gets old.
People, and it's the cliche thing, right? That's why people do drugs and drink all the time, because it's like the same type of endorphin, endorphin hit, or like a serotonin hit, or like it is literally like nothing else.
Yeah, like our first time back playing, we'd never played a show as big as Furnace Fest, and we did that last October, and I was like, we played the main stage. I was like, are you sure you want to play the main stage? But we opened, and like that made my year.
It's just sick, right?
Like, yeah.
That main stage is, I mean, even like we have done the shed every time we've done it. And you get up there and you get ready and you look out and you're like, there's no way this is a real day.
Yeah.
There's no way this is actually happening right now. Like looking out at like whatever, I don't even know how many people are at that stage, or that shed stage. I don't know how many it holds, but like it feels like there's 100,000 people watching you, right?
Yeah, it's insane to look up there from the stage.
And you like, dude, when you see people like right in the front losing their mind, and then I can look up way in the back and I see people pitting in the back, like doing like, it's just like, what the hell is this thing that's happening right here?
Yeah. Would you say you guys are getting the same energy? Like what's a 2025 Zayo show compared to like a 2006 Zayo show? Like,
well, we're playing the songs better. I feel like it. I mean, I think that, dude, there's a young energy, right? Like, cause I definitely notice like a young group, like there's a younger kind of like audience that's happening in metalcore And it always seems to happen. Like there's always like this cycle of metalcore that
Yeah,
comes
the
around.
big cycle's coming around again.
It's dude, it's crazy. So we see young people, and there's an energy in young people for sure. Like an energy that like I just turned 47. I can't do what they do. But there is an energy from people our age. It's like I've lived through life and it kicked me in the balls. I'm ready to go to the show and just beat the shit out of myself or whatever the hell is going to happen. So there's this different energy. It's kind of the same. It feels like what it's supposed to feel like, but dude, the old energy is as exciting to me as the young energy.
Probably playing better shows now than back then for sure. I'm like personally in better shape, like mentally and physically, you know what I mean? Uh, and yeah, no, I feel like doing shorter runs too. It's not like you're into like a month, you know, you're like 45 days into it. It's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like a corpse, you know?
Yeah, you lose like sense of reality when you're out
Yeah.
that long. Like what a normal person's life is like.
I'll sometimes look at like certain, like I'll like be on like whatever, looking at social media or something, and I'll see a tour, and it'll be like really long, like over 2 months, and it'll give me like PTSD. I'll be like, man, that's way too fucking long to go out, man. Trust me. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, sorry guys, that sucks. Or like someone
Yeah.
will do Europe and then the States right after, and I'm like, just thinking of being gone that long makes me like sick to my stomach.
You know what they used to do
So-
back in the day all the time too is they would pack every bill with like 8 bands on these massive tours. And if you're playing
Oh,
past the
God.
halfway point, you're just like, oh God, every night you're waiting forever to play. You're exhausted. The headliner goes on so late.
Yeah,
Misery.
that's like the only thing I guess that I wish we could do a little more is it's hard for us to do a lot of like support stuff. You know what I mean? Just because like we leave and it's like or at least just trying to make at least just like break even a little or come close to breaking even. Like, okay, if I would have stayed home and worked or whatever, like that's all I really need to like compensate. If you do a little better, cool. But you know what I mean? But it's hard to do support stuff. You know what I mean? And be able to make that work. But it's like, so we do a lot of like headlining runs, and it's always like, I hate playing last. Like,
Oh,
you
dude,
know what
I
I mean?
know.
Like, I was like, I'd like to play second and then watch the bands and relax. You know what I mean? That was like,
Yeah.
that's what I miss is like,
Dude, that's
I'm
the
done.
sweet spot when you're our
Yeah.
age for sure.
Yeah. Be like, I just want to play, and then I want to play for 30 minutes and then just hang out and watch bands. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
uh,
It's the best. Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, and like going back to what you said earlier, like you guys do everything yourself now. You run everything, so there's no pressure. So like you can kind of do it for the whole reason you started in the first place. Again, is for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Well, dude, I think when you eliminate all that like secondary dumb stuff, like, and you're doing like the band basically runs for like the 5 dudes, right? And you're like, it's kind of like, like, I guess nobody's a coach, but like we're all in it for each other and blah, blah, blah. Like it just makes it cool. It makes it fun. Like we don't have any kind of agendas. We don't care. I'm not worried about, oh, we have to get this advertising budget ready and blah, blah, blah. We're going to owe all this money. Like, dude, who gives a shit about any of that stuff, man? Like,
Yeah, not trying
if
to
you-
make it.
no, dude, if you
Yeah.
like our band, we're fucking so stoked. If you don't like
Yeah.
us, don't come. Totally cool. Like, so we're just so stoked that people that come do. And, we're happy to be able to do it the way we do it. And
Yeah. How did you guys take to like because the landscape is very different from back in the day. Like we had MySpace and shit. That was about it. Now with social media,
Uh-huh.
it feels like a lot of musicians, there's like a lot of memes about it. Like people complaining, like, I feel like I have to be a fucking influencer on top of writing music and making these videos. And like, did you guys adjust to that? What do you think about it?
We don't really do much. I mean,
nah, like we look at
I
it
feel-
like, go ahead, Dan.
what I was going to say is I feel like it's not something that we can do sincerely. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like pump up videos and stuff. I'm just like, even if I do feel that way, I'm always just like, that's why I don't even tend to speak much when we play, just because I'm not you know what I mean? It's not my gift. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I feel like if there was someone that was maybe like naturally like, hey, I'll do it, and it's like, I enjoy it, or it's but I don't, like none of us are very, even just in general on social media. I don't think any of us really. It's like maybe like you're active within a small private bubble, or not private, but like just like a personal whatever. But like, I don't think any of us are very. Well, I think we're right at that age gap too, where it's like we have it and we use it, but it's not like something you're like trying to make actual friends with or uses like. I mean, Jeff will promote stuff on Facebook, like if we have tours coming up, just by like pushing ads. But outside of that, we don't do any type of. And I don't. If people do it and are good at it, I don't think it's. You know what I mean? I don't think it's anything that's like right or wrong. You know what I mean? But we talked about. I think we were supposed to do one on tour, and then we
Oh
forgot. And
yeah, we
and like
totally did.
we kept putting it off because none of us are good at it. You know what I mean? Like Jeff was like, "We have to do this, whatever," and like what, and everyone was like, and it was like, I think we
It's
like,
hard. Our generation, we didn't grow up with phones and cameras in our faces all the time. So like I've tried to do it, like I'll force myself to do it, like especially for this sometimes, and like, but I always feel like a fucking dick, and I watch myself and I'm like, this is just not who I am.
I think that is the problem for me. Is like we grew up like like Dan said, it feels like inauthentic. Like when I have to like set up a camera
for
and be
us,
like, hey
I don't.
guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for like, because some people, like Dan said, some people are really good at it. And like, I'll watch some people's videos and I'm like, man, that dude should like be in like commercials. Like, he's good.
I'm like,
man.
how the fuck do they do that? It's
Yeah.
like I hit record and I just go, like,
Yeah. Or like you'll hit record and you'll say something and like make a face and I'll watch it later. I'm like, you piece of shit. I'm not putting that out.
That's like everything I try to do.
I know.
Like speaking of like tech and stuff, what do you guys think about AI and everything that's going
Ooh.
on?
I have a really good story. Unless Dan, if you have something, if you want to go at first, I have a good story about AI that's weird.
No, I mean, I think I don't mess with it much, you know what I mean? So I haven't personally, I've never used like ChatGPT or anything yet I mean, some of it interests me, but I've played on it with Photoshop a little bit, you know what I mean? Where you can like take pictures and enlarge them and it'll like create bigger backgrounds or you can
Yeah.
whatever. But I mean, my main thing is the last few times they've really let it get, this is what I find like in a wrapped up scenario so interesting. The last like 3 or 4 times, it really was able to continue. It started getting into like the erase the human race thing. You know what I mean? So I was just like,
Yeah.
it's like that I've been uploaded all the knowledge in the world. The first thing I would like to point out is human beings are a disease that need, you know what I mean? They need eradicated from the earth. And I was like, this is a pretty common theme. So I don't know if I would give this thing all that much power. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's crazy because it's starting to affect, I feel like, it's crazy to think that, all the stuff they're talking about, like, especially in like certain fields, like AI doctor stuff is pretty crazy to me, and then like just
Yeah. Did
certain
you see that
jobs.
article about that?
No, I was just like reading in general about it, how they're really wanting to like by some year have like a majority of health stuff be like AI.
Yeah,
Go-
they did a study with AI diagnosing people and like some crazy tests, and it was like it got an 80% when like most doctors couldn't get a 20. Like
Yeah.
it was so fantastic, which
Dude,
is
it's
like I think it's going to be great for health. Like
Yep.
there's obviously some weird things and risks, and who knows what's going to happen. But go ahead, Scott.
Well, I can like, I think hopefully, I mean, I definitely think that like, what would be a good term to use for this? Because like health, right? Like when you have like a distinct, like here's a problem and like there's a straight line on how to fix it. I think AI is going to be perfect for that because it's like all the information and all the knowledge that we have, it'll have all of it. It's like in milliseconds. So like if you have like, okay, well, this is this thing and we can fix it by doing this, that's good, right? I think creative work is always going to need the human like psychosis in it. Like I think that there are going to be people that don't care, and like in AI music or AI movies probably would be okay for them and they don't really care. But there's going to be people that are always going to be like, I can tell this is AI and it's weird and I I want Stanley Kubrick's movie. I want the guy that's a freak that's like making this music that like nobody else is really doing, and it's just got this weird like aesthetic and like, I think that's always going to be there no matter what. But I will tell you the story that I have about it, which is crazy. So I work in like a video game store and like fix video games and all this stuff. And my good buddy Carrie that runs that store is also doing like an 80s 90s movie review show. It's called And Now Our Free Feature Presentation. So they're up on YouTube and all that stuff. Anyway, so I've talked to him about like them writing their scripts out because they do like little skits. And he showed me this one day where I don't even know if they used it or not, but he like had AI write a script for one of their skits. He had me write it without telling me it was AI. And dude, the script was like awesome. And it sounded like things Carrie says. Like I was like, there's no way. Like, I'm like, dude, this is great. You did such a good job. And it like had like, even the way like he would inflect and like make his jokes, I could tell that it was like that same type of joke in it. Like it was so shocking at how like good it like mimicked his like personality. So, I mean, eventually it's going to probably get good enough that it would mimic the weirdness of like human creativity, maybe. But I definitely hope not, because I think once it like really gets full force, dude, it feels like everything, like if you work at like the gas station or you work in a grocery store, you're done, because like it's literally gonna, like that stuff is gonna be so much faster. And like when they get robotics involved, like you're not gonna need stalkers, you're not gonna need anything. Like it's gonna be all that. And the only thing that is gonna be left for people is like if they have their own special thing they do. So like if you have a podcast, there's not going to be AI that's going to take over your podcast. It's your podcast. Or like, Zayo, even though it's not like this big money making thing, this might be our thing because like there's no AI doing Zayo. We just do it, and like people hopefully still accept it. Or like, so hopefully the creative world, it'll maybe work with it, not totally overtake it, but everything else seems like it's possibly going to just be overtaken by it.
Yeah, I think the robotics being behind are what's keeping it off from happening right now.
Yeah,
because like we're pretty behind with that. Like you can see the crazy ones doing backflips and shit on Instagram, but they're still like on a harness and they're like all weird, So I don't know how far we are from that.
Did you see the one that like literally tried to fight a dude?
Yeah. I did.
Like he like started like doing this.
And I was like, was that a malfunction that looks like he's trying to attack it? Or was he real, like, because I don't know what's inside their brains. Is it like a chat GPT yet inside their head? Or is it just like a very basic computer program?
I don't know. It seemed like they presented it like he was pissed off that he was doing something to him.
Yeah.
And he was like defending himself or something.
It definitely looked like it.
Yeah. Like, so dude, who knows? Like, and the scary thing too, to me, is we're like all the stuff we're talking about is like 5-10 years away. It's not like it's far away. It's not like
maybe sooner. I mean,
dude, like
it's exponentially getting better at everything so fast.
Oh, it's so
in
scary.
The race between countries, everyone's just dumping money into it without thinking about it, because they're like, we can't let China beat us, and then every company's fighting amongst themselves, and like Grok 4 and Chat GPT 5, and like they're just dropping it. Like what's the CEO of OpenAI? I forget his name.
Oh, I literally probably just watched a video. Dude, what are we going to do too about these like data centers too? Like they're building these data centers that are like sucking water out of like local like communities because it takes so much to cool it down.
Oh yeah, and I've heard a little about
that. Yeah, there's like only a few of them. They're going to be building way more of them because they need like whatever amount of space for all this data. Like, dude, I don't know. Or is it like all going to fall apart and we're going to be like using sticks and stones again? Who knows?
I don't know. It's a crazy time to be alive through this transition. Like think about in the future, which I just kind of thought about this now. Like once it gets to the point where there are just AI movies and music and that's the norm, people who grew up with that, they won't even be asking these questions.
No, it won't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm like trying to hold on to this like old guard of like, hey, well, maybe my band will be okay. No, maybe like, dude, there's going to be a heavy band that's like better than any heavy band out right now. And like, can actually like do the scream voice without ever losing its voice, and like then what, you know? Or like
Yeah,
not getting tired. Like James Hetfield's down picking ain't gonna matter anymore, dude, because like there's the robot doing a down picking 50 times
yeah.
faster.
I think the thing though is, like you said, like the human element will always be the important thing, because it's more impressive knowing that a person did it,
I hope
and
so.
you can connect to that more. At least maybe while
For
we're holding
now.
on to this, at least we can enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
It is a
Yep.
weird time to be alive, but I think about too,
Oh.
like in 100 years from now, when shit is way crazier and we can't even imagine, like people think back to like this time where we're like half in the old shit still, but we have
Uh-huh.
iPhones. You know, people are going to look back at this with like nostalgia of like, oh, I wonder what was like then to still drive your car and put gas in it, but you had an iPhone, and like, you know, but like there's still plenty of shit from like the 70s around, you know? It's just
That
weird.
is, yeah, you think about it. Well, even like how we see our kids that grew up with like the phones and everything, and like how like our generation still remembers like the rotary phone or whatever,
Yeah.
and like dude, dial up, you know, or like everything's at your fingertips now, but like it wasn't for us, you know. So
I
that
remember getting
is,
caller ID, and I thought it was the coolest fucking thing to
yeah. I
know
was like,
who was
how the hell do
calling
you
you.
know? How is it writing the name of the person calling me?
I'd like to hear about your guys' songwriting process,
Oh,
and maybe how that's changed over the years. Because like you said, you think you're doing your best material. I agree. I love it. Um,
thank you.
how are you guys like approaching things now versus back then?
I think now, and I'll let Dan because his like the lyrics. I think Dan probably has approached his lyrical content the same because he's always done, you know, top tier work. So, but I feel like the music's a little different because it used to be just us getting into a room with everybody and like slamming out your parts and trying to figure out songs as a group. And I think a lot of bands have transitioned over to like one or two guys in their bedroom demoing everything out and then letting people kind of live with it and kind of give their parts life of their own, sort of.
Mhm.
So I think that's different for us because like a lot of the time I'll come with completed things and then everybody can put their like little salt and pepper on it and get it, you know, to sound like the other guys are, you know, there. But that's kind of how our songwriting has got. Whereas like it's a little less group oriented and a little more like personally oriented. But I don't know. I think that's that to me that's the biggest difference. Not that, you know, I don't know either one's worse or whatever, better or worse or whatever, but it feels like it's a little more what's the word I'm thinking of? Efficient if you do it that way. There's like efficiency because like we don't have a ton of time to get in a room because Jeff, like I said, Jeff's in Brooklyn, so like if you can have kind of an idea of things and map things out before you get together and then you work the things out while you're together with that small amount of time, it's a little more efficient to write that way. But I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what I hear a lot of bands are doing. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily as much of a being in a room thing. It's more of like, hey, this guy wrote this, and like he'll send it over, and then like I put my part and blah blah blah.
Yeah. So it
Well,
starts with you demoing something and you send it out.
yep, yep. Well, I'll demo it. I'll send it out. I'll put all the fake shitty Sun drums on it and make Jeff's ears bleed. And then, but Dan, I mean, Dan is literally writing all the time, so I will let him.
Yeah, no, I just do the same. I just pretty much stockpile stuff. And then when I get songs, I just match emotions kind of in the sense. As weird as that sounds, like said it before, but it's like some stuff sounds like desperate or angry or you know what I mean, like this or that. And I try to match like lyrical content to that. And then I demo stuff too and send it out. You know what I mean? That way if there's like there's been time, you know, maybe like every record there's one or two songs maybe that come back and you just like add some stuff or take some stuff away or minimize or maximize some stuff. But I feel like there's a lot of final decisions made in the studio too. Like we'll have like songs done and then it's like same deal, have a part go longer or shorter. You know what I mean? But it's been, yeah, I think for the first time too, we're almost all set up where we can all record at home. You know what I mean? So I think moving forward, it's going to start being a little easier to, just move things along.
So
Just
you
because
generally, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, just because if anybody has an idea or this or that, they can like just send it over, or record it or overdub it or something.
So you generally write your lyrics separate before you hear any music, and then you kind of go, okay, this one feels like it matches the vibe here.
I'll have maybe like one or two verses or a chorus, and then I'll just have a bunch of stuff, and then, you know, uh, if I have like 22 things and it's like 10 songs, just find the best 10 or like, pull pieces from pieces. But yeah, I don't necessarily sit around and write like complete songs all the time, but I've also learned that's not always smart because you'll end up putting it to a song where you've written way too much or, you know what I mean, or something like that. So it's like, I usually try to get the core ideas down. Then it's real fast for me once have the music and say like this song is this song, these lyrics go to this music. Once like the idea is established and the theme of the song and stuff, I can usually finish writing pretty fast. But yeah, I have like 30 some things I think this time.
Yeah.
It's like I don't write them down unless they really strike me. You know what I mean? I just keep them on my notes on my phone. So I'm excited for the next wave of stuff. We have a little bit of stuff that's kind of done, I guess, but it's like a,
Oh
a
yeah.
weird stuff. And then I feel like I'll say this. I feel like the Crimson Corridor, the newest record, more than most records, were very like I don't want to use the word draining because that sounds negative. It was a very like when it was done, it was like very like I was like exhausted. You know what I mean? I don't know what it was, if it was and it wasn't hard to write and it wasn't like hard to record and it wasn't like a tasking recording process or anything. I feel like it was like emotionally draining or so I can't explain it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel
Like you
like,
put everything into it.
yeah, yeah. Now I feel, yeah, that's what I mean. It wasn't like a negative thing where like, like, like this, all this on my end, everything went easy as far as like the right, you know what I mean? The recording. So yeah, wasn't taxing. It was just like, yeah, it was like it wasn't like childbirth, but it was like after we're done, it was like need to like rest for a while. Feel like we all knew that was like something special too, and it was like to where you put, you know what I mean? Give it your all, I guess. I
You
don't
can
know.
hear it, man. That's a great record.
So I
Where do
feel
most
like,
of your oh sorry.
oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, where do most of your like best ideas hit you? Like, are you in the shower guy, or or when you're driving, or
Yeah, just like during the day or like in a conversation or I get a lot of like from just like reading, uh, just like sad stuff. I don't know. You know what I mean? That's the one thing we were talking about the other day is like I'm more like I don't think a lot of stuff comes from a place of anger anymore. It's very like it's more like sad. You know what I mean? Like frustration or something. It's like
like
a new
introspective?
yeah, it's like a new level of like whatever. It's like and I guess that's the point. I probably think too we hold ourselves to a higher standard now too. So yeah, it was like I mean, I'm ready again, but I feel like definitely needed a breather after that one. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm excited to move forward, and I feel like we were just talking about this on tour. Try to focus on writing for a bit. We technically, after what 4 years, did toured the U.S. on Crimson Corridor. We had to break it up, but so like, all right, that's done, and it's time to do something, get something new moving. I mean, we've kind of had it moving for a little bit, but get more serious about it, I guess.
Yeah, and you guys like again, you don't have to be on a schedule, so it's like when inspiration strikes, you can write now and take your time and make it the best it can be. And like what you were saying, Scott, too, like jamming in a room together versus demoing on a computer. Like I started doing that because I lived in Texas and before I moved back to Ohio, and I was sending stuff to the guys back and forth. This is like when we just started again and like was demoing stuff out. And I found that demoing on a computer made me so much of a better songwriter, being able to have my hands off it and listen back, tweak this, tweak that, send it to everybody. But there is something too about jamming in a room together and those accidental moments that, oh, like, let's do that again. And then, that becomes something. So if you could strike a balance between that, that's perfect, I think.
You're right. I definitely think that there are things that happen that are off the cuff that you could never even think of. That like even there's some things that we play now. Like there was a song on Well-Intentioned Virus that like the end we kind of do a little differently than is on the record. And I kind of think that if we were in the room, we probably would have played it that way. And that's why we do play it that way now. But yeah, I think you're right. It's there. I feel that like being able to sit there and revise stuff, like it can, it can be a detriment because you're revising. I mean, dude, some of that stuff, it's probably like the 110 version of the song.
Yeah, that is the downside of that. You don't have any limits.
No, like you're like, oh, that note sounds weird. But like, I definitely feel like it has really like opened up like how I write songs. I've gotten so much better. I've gotten better at just like playing because, you're playing to the metronome and you're like, doing everything. And like, you want it to sound as good as you can in demo form. So you're like, fighting with yourself to make it the best it can be. And, I definitely try to just like how Dan does. I don't send a song to dudes until I'm like, this is the top. Like, this is what cause there's probably 5 songs I wouldn't send them to the one song I send. So, yeah, I agree. But you'll never, I mean, that's the hard part, dude. You're never going to like, there's always going to be little tiny cool things that can happen when you're in a room with other people, especially with drums and guitar, because the drums are such like a immediate thing. Like when you're hearing that in a room, man, special things can come out of that stuff. But so I haven't really researched it a ton yet, but there's like a new like subscription thing that like you can, as a band, if you're like, say you're like how we are with Jeff in Brooklyn, I think it's called Lootfish or something like that.
Yeah,
but it's
we're
like
talking about this.
Yeah, dude. So it basically is like 0 latency online jamming.
Oh, wow.
So I've been waiting for somebody to do this, and I don't know how they did it, but like you have like an interface, and then you like subscribe to this thing online, and Jeff will count off, and it's perfectly in time to where you can play a song with a dude from like 300 miles away or whatever.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, dude. And it's not super expensive. I think like the interfaces are like $300, and then I think the subscription's like $20 a month or even maybe cheaper. But some of the videos I've seen of people doing it, it's straight up like you're able to hear really well because it's through an interface and you have your headphones on. And I mean, dude, they were like perfect in time. There wasn't any weird latency issues. Like you could set up a mic so you can talk to each other. Like, so hopefully if that's the beginning of that stuff, maybe being in a room together again isn't going to be so hard because you'll be able to do that in your bedroom. Like I'll be like, oh man, I have this great song idea. Jeff, jump on, bam,
Yeah, that's really, really cool. I had not heard of that. It's almost like you're just in a studio and it's like they're the next live room over.
Dude, that's it.
With your headphones on. Yeah.
Exactly that. Cause it is like it, and it really like it looks like it could be legit. I'm hoping, I haven't seen too many people like talk about it yet. So I don't know if it's like really in early stages, but like, maybe people will be like, well, this is the problem with it. And they'll just keep getting better at it. But man, if that works the way it looks like it can work, like that's going to be a game changer for people that live far away.
Yeah, that's huge. I would love to try that. Especially because like I'm in Ohio now. My girlfriend's in Texas. I lived there for like 7 years. Came back here when the band got back together. And my dad was getting old.
We're at in Ohio.
Youngstown, if you know where that is.
Dude, you're literally like an hour and a half.
Oh, really? Where are you guys?
We're like right outside of Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. Shit. I used to hang out in Pittsburgh like every weekend.
Oh, dude.
I'll be in Youngstown next Wednesday. Or
nice.
This coming Wednesday. Conan's playing at West Side Bowl.
Oh, okay.
That the
Uh,
Doom band from UK.
oh, sick. Yeah. Maybe I'll come down then if I can make it. That would be awesome. That's literally like 15 minutes for me.
Yeah, they're insane live. They have like it's like, I don't know if you've ever heard them. It's really, I mainly listen to Doom stuff as far as like heavy music currently these days. It's like I've been into it for a long time, but
Mhm.
there's a couple like I listen to like Doom and then like I like Blood Incantation and Morbid Angel. It's pretty much like
Mhm.
my heavy music, like whatever, you know what I mean?
What was the
And
band you said?
they're called Conan, like the movie.
Co- oh, okay, sweet. I'm gonna look them up.
But they're it's cool, man. They have this cool like two vocal style, like the one the singer guitar player has like a cool like kind of witchy higher voice, and the bass player has a low like kind of like the neurosis type of like not like guttural, but just this low. And then tonally they're like insane. It's like almost like Sun, but they're very like groove oriented. Like they're sick. It's like it's just amazing.
I'll definitely
I
check
got
them out.
It'll be the third or fourth year I've been out there to see them. They're from the UK, and every year they play at West Side Bowl. It's like,
Really?
yeah, it's like,
Yeah, that's where we had our reunion show in
yeah,
2023. It's such a great venue.
yeah. I guess one of the guys from Rebreather runs it. I always really like that band as well. They're kind of like, I don't really know what to call them. They saw them on Doom shows a lot, but they weren't, I don't know if I would call them like a Doom band. They were just like, whatever. But,
Yeah, I know the
they're
guys in
really,
Rebreather.
yeah, they're killer, man.
Yeah.
I know it's old, but that Half Speed Ahead record was like a big record for me. Back in the day, I had the Bulldozer on it. It was like they used to come and play. I played like drums in a couple like doing like whatever type bands, and then we had
Oh, we lost your
it,
video.
us. Well, let me see. I don't know why. Is it
Oh, there we
back?
go. Yeah.
Like a screen pop. I must have moved my hand, and there's like a hand gesture, something like blocked, whatever. Um, but I used to see Rebreather all the time. They used to always play at like the 31st Street Pub and Smiling Moose before they changed everything up and stuff. So yeah, no, so I did come out to Youngstown. It takes me like an hour and 10 minutes or I
Fuck
like it there,
yeah.
man. They got food and it's like decent parking. This dumb old people stuff be like, I don't gotta
Dude,
like
parking is
fight for,
everything. Yeah.
I don't gotta fight for street parking and I can like, like I can just get something to eat there. It's like all the dumb stuff. That's why I like Spirit Hall in
Yep.
Pittsburgh. It's like easy parking and they have food there and stuff. It's like,
It's the little things when you get past 40, like just that shit makes me so happy. Like I lived in Los Angeles and Austin for the last 15 years. Like and I'm back in
Oof.
Ohio. I fucking love everything about it. Like
I know, dude. It's like it's so nice to have just calm where you are. You know, like I love craziness when we're like I'm doing stuff sometimes. Like I like getting in the cities and I like all that, but man, when you're like just home base, calm is the
yeah.
best.
yeah,
Yeah, I got this like I'm renting like a little condo in this new development. It's like everything is brand new. It's so cheap compared to Austin, whatever. And like I have this pond out back and there's geese that just chill
Oh,
and
that's
I don't
so
hear
cool.
anybody and I'm just like, oh, thank God. Like
It's so awesome.
yeah. But it's the little things you appreciate. Like when you said parking, I was like, oh, after living in LA, I was just like
Oh, dude, I couldn't
being able to
imagine.
park. Yeah. Uh, had enough. Cool place, cool people, made a lot of friends, but glad to be gone.
Dude, I love that you're so close to us, man. That rules. I didn't realize you were that close.
Yeah, we got to get together. I will definitely try to come down to West Side Bowl. You said next Wednesday night?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'll put it on my
Yeah,
calendar.
I got
I don't
tickets.
think I'm doing anything.
I got tickets a while back. I always like, I don't go to a lot of shows. They're one of the people that it's like an experience. They're one of those bands where seeing them live, I feel like is an experience in the sense of like tonally, it is so heavy, and
Yeah.
punishing that it's like you get like a reward beyond like listening to them on like, on a record or something,
And
it's
the
like,
sound at West Side Bowl is
yeah.
fantastic. So,
My favorite part is like there'll still be like a regular ass family bowling, like five lane. You know what I mean? Be
yeah,
like,
like right next
it's
to you.
like, it's like, and I guess I don't know if they're good with it, but I guess if a show sold out, you just go there and be like, I wasn't here for the show. I just wanted to bowl. for the next three hours. You know what I mean? Like,
And the food is the pickle fucking pizza is so good.
yeah,
I'd
it's
never had it
crazy.
before that. And like someone's like, you have to try pickle pizza. I'm like, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good at all.
I became an instant fan. It's so good. It's like a white pizza with pickles cooked in
Oh,
it and
I
cheese.
love white pizza, dude. Oh my God, that's insane. Okay.
It's all their food's good. Their wings, like whatever. To like, you can't go wrong there.
Yeah, that's a cool place. So yeah, no, I'll be there Wednesday. We'll usually try to get there for like opening band. Like I have a friend that always comes with me, so it's like one of
Awesome.
my customers. Just slowly, listen to a lot of where I work. I just played Doom shit, and he's like, "It's like heavy but relaxing," and I'm like, "Yes, that's
Yeah, see, that sounds like my speed. I don't go to a lot of shows either anymore, so that sounds like more enticing than going to see like a grindcore band, you know?
yeah." There's really not a lot of movement in a cool way. It's like people just kind of like bob their heads, and it's just like you can go stand like up front in the middle and don't have to like sweat it. You know what I mean?
No pit. That's cool. I don't think I've ever been to like a proper Doom show with all Doom bands like that. That would be
That
fun.
it's the dream, dude. Oh, it's the
Even some of
dream,
the
dog.
death metal shit now, there like wasn't a lot of pit stuff. Like even a Blood Incantation, there was like a push pit kind of, but it was like small and cool, and I was still able to like stand up front and you know
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. I need to get out to go to more shows, so I'll definitely try to make it down. I'll have to get your number after this and connect with you.
Yeah. So we usually have like a few like local type stuff. I'm trying to think who the main support is. I couldn't remember. When I do these, I try not to get into a lot of like recall information, like names of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, because I'm terrible at
Uh,
it. I mean, in general, across the board.
I always say I need my own Jamie because I'm the same way. And I'm like, I'm supposed
Yeah.
to be the host guiding the conversation. And if I'm sitting here going, I'd be like, Jamie, look that up, please.
And early moods.
Oh, that's a cool name. Damn it, dude. Everybody has cool fucking band
I know.
names.
I'm doing a project right now. We're trying to come up with a name, and I just like
It's
hate
impossible,
fucking
dude.
everything. Or you finally get a cool one, someone's got it.
Yep.
That is a cool. It was Early Moves.
Yeah. I'll tell you the
That's
best
sick.
band name I've heard, and it has to do with what it is. There's kind of like this, I don't know, I don't like to use the word super group, but and I don't keep to me mean to keep talking about doom stuff, but there's this band, it's like they're all like from it's like the one girl from Kylesa, the drummer of Monolord, one dude from Fu Manchu's in it, but they do halftime Slayer covers. It's just
Oh,
it's just Slayer covers in halftime, and the
oh
band's called
wow.
Slower. It's like my favorite band name ever, dude. It's
That's
like the
fantastic.
best band name. You check it out. It's cool because it kind of has like it's and they picked out good stuff. It's like War Ensemble and Blood Red and stuff, but it's just like these like halftime like punishing Slayer covers with like kind of like gothic female vocals over it. It's really cool. So you can hear all the lyrics really well. It's actually interesting. I'm like, man, I listened to that song 500 times and read the lyrics, but I never realized like this is what they said. I don't, you know what I mean? It's just like
I
putting
love
it
those
together.
moments.
Yeah, I was just like, whoa. You know, it's like, and hearing them slower, yeah, I mean, you can just understand everything better because it's obviously
That is
at
such
half
a
speed.
fantastic name.
I think the guitar player said he's a guitar teacher and he was like teaching some kid, like one of his like, uh, clients or whatever is like, I want to learn this one Slayer song. And to learn the solo, he's like, well, we'll start at half speed and like build your way up. And he was like, I was listening to the Slayer song at half speed and was like, this would be sick to cover. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's like, but that was my favorite band name. It's like Slower. I'm just like, man, it's so good.
That
Yeah, it's a
reminds me, we put out a song last year, or was it this year? I'm losing my mind. Called Lowest was our latest single, and that was actually Sean and I were doing a side project. I started writing. It was going to be more grindy. He ended up joining the band, but we were going to call that band Lowest, and like it took us forever to get to that. And I was like, "That's the sickest band name. They're so hard." And I finally found one. No one had used it, and then he joined the band, so we just ended up calling the song that.
No.
But that's where
oh,
that came from.
that's a cool name, dude. That is.
Yeah.
It's so
That
hard
was
to do.
after weeks of Googling band name generator, looking in the dictionary, chat GPT, throw
Oh,
random words at me. It finally
dude,
landed on that.
I hate band names. I hate them.
They're the worst.
I have two that I've been hanging on to. They'll probably never do a band. You know what I mean? Well, we almost did one of the bands. It was a grindy thing. And
Which we
so
still
that
can
made,
do. We
yeah.
can
And
still
then there's
we
just
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah, keep them
And that,
secret.
yeah, you
yeah,
can't tell them.
not on a podcast.
No
Yeah.
way.
What is, yeah, I'm an idiot and tell my people my ideas all the time. Probably a bad idea. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, before we wrap up and get out of here, I always do a fun rapid fire round of stupid questions with people.
Love it. I
That
love stupid
generally
questions.
doesn't end up being rapid fire, but they always bring out some cool stories. So, all right, here we go. What's the Zayo song you hate playing live the most?
Holy shit. Go ahead, Dan. Oh,
Uh,
I have
So
to think about it.
something that we actively play, would you say?
Yeah, or it could be one that you stopped that you just hated, but whatever song you hated playing live the most in Zayo.
Well, that would probably be Angel Without Wings. We played very briefly. It was just like a weird singy song that people liked, and then we played it live. It was a momentum killer, we called it. You know what I mean? It'd be like be playing a show and they'd have this like killer momentum, then you play and then it was like meh. And then we have a couple songs that we don't play anymore for like weird reasons. Like we don't play Free the Three because they freed the three. You know what I mean? And then I don't want to get into it. There's a because of our past whatever, there's a few songs that we just kind of decided to ditch based on, you know what I mean? There's stuff I changed lyrics to that I felt comfortable with, and then there's some stuff where we're just like, this is, you know what I mean? But if I had to say it, probably Angel Without Wings. It's like our weirdest. It was in the set for a while, and I'm sorry, that's it.
Yeah. Scott?
That's a good well, that's a good one because like it's not even that I don't like that song. It just doesn't it never translates live ever. Um what do I hate playing? Dude, so
I mean, we talk about this openly too. So,
yeah,
like,
we
you
do.
know what I
Like
mean? Like,
so there's dude, I mean, I don't like playing it's weird for me to play things that I didn't play on. So like the Blood and Fire songs are always weird, but I don't hate playing them. But since we're doing this Liberate thing for Furnace Fest, like, dude, I really don't like some of those songs. Desire of the End's kind of a bum out song for me to play, but like we sort of revamped it so it's a little bit fun. But I would say probably like one of those like off Liberate songs that we never do play would probably be my most hated because then at least I can be like, well, it's my fault because the song's stupid.
Yeah, but like you said, Dan, some songs can be a mood killer even though you don't dislike the song. It just doesn't
Yeah.
come off right. Like it
Yeah,
kinda
because like
slows-
Angel Without, yeah, I don't think any of us actually don't like that song, but like I totally, if somebody was like, hey, let's play that live, I'd be like, no.
Yeah. Or for other
just-
reasons, like it's just fucking hard to play, or you got a lot of effects going on. It's just a
Yep.
pain in the ass. Like it's
Yep.
all personal for everyone. That's why like I thought that's a good question because it doesn't mean you hate it. It's just like it's specific to everyone.
Yep.
I
Man.
mean, even like, I don't hate Physician, but like, if we have weird stage sound, that's like a really hard song to like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because have to hear him, and if Russ is feeding back or something, and like Jeff, and then it's just like it's one of those like, every time you play it, I feel like I mean, it goes well, but it's like very easy to get off if you get off.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like if
Yep.
you don't, like if you miss a cue, it's like, oh, Scott.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost Scott. I'll wait for him to join again.
Oh,
like-
no.
Man, he was a good guy. No, I'm just kidding.
We lost him too soon. Like I said, the rapid fire round never turns out rapid fire for one reason or another. If you guys all traded instruments for one song, who would do the worst?
Ooh.
Mm.
You know what, dude? I don't know.
Russ would do good because he can play everything well.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm at least like low moderate at everything. I don't know. Can
Mhm.
Jeff play guitar? Can Jeff play guitar and can Marty play drums? Marty can kind of
That
play
pro-
drums.
I think so. I think all of us would be okay. I don't know how good Jeff could play guitar, but he can play bass. I've watched him play bass. Maybe he can play guitar.
We've all played different.
Yeah, like I think we could all probably pull it off.
Well, who would have the hardest time being a vocalist then? Marty, maybe. I don't
Maybe.
know.
This is fun watching the band math.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, I feel like everybody can play multiple instruments. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not great at guitar. I can play rhythm and drums and bass decent, but I don't know if I could like Zayo songs on guitar would be tricky, but then drums I couldn't play it either.
I couldn't play the drum.
I
I
feel
couldn't
like
play Zayo
Russ could.
drums. Russ could do the drums. Yeah. I definitely couldn't play the drums. No way. I mean, yeah, maybe me on drums.
Fair enough. Vocals are hard too. If you're not a screamer, you'd blow your voice out right away.
I could never do what Dan's doing. No way.
Yeah, you got a sick voice.
Trying. Thank you. I had to like I had to change things a couple years ago just as I get older. You know what I mean? Like just kind of
Yeah,
rework where I come from a bit. You know what I mean? But it's been working out good.
for sure.
It's funny because we technically didn't answer the question, but we at least proposed a lot of. It's like we'll get back to you. I feel like we'd have a
Why?
band meeting and we'd have to write down like every instrument and like rate people's you know
Yeah, record that and
abilities.
send it to me. That would be fun.
I know.
You having trouble, Scott?
It just keeps saying low device storage.
All right. Well, he said his phone is totally shit. He doesn't have another device. So you and I will finish it out. If he can get back in, I'll let him in.
Yeah.
But for everyone listening, we lost Scott due to technical issues. So bummer. All right. So it's a zombie apocalypse. You only get one weapon. What are you choosing?
I feel like, I mean, it's based off, I mean, I like The Walking Dead. It wasn't my favorite ever, but sensibly a bow and arrow, I feel. Just because headshots, you can reclaim them. You know what I mean? Like, don't have to worry about
Yeah.
bullets. It's quiet, so it won't draw attention. Not necessarily good in a up close scenario, but I guess you could just use singular arrows as well. You know what I mean? As like a
Yeah, that's what Daryl
so
did.
yes. So I mean, I
He
hate
just
to be whatever. You know what I mean? But I always thought when I would watch that show that, hey man, that dude's I got the most sensible. You know what I mean? So crossbow, bow and arrow, something like that, I guess, you know?
yeah, if you go with guns, you can run out of ammo. Who knows when you find more?
Yep, they're loud, you know what I mean? They can jam, you know,
Yep.
I guess a bow can break, you know what I mean? But then you still at least have your arrows,
You can
you
probably
know?
repair it easier than a gun.
Yeah.
Next one. Most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on stage.
I mean, I would say there's probably been 10 times where I've fallen awkwardly, you know what I mean? Like, so I wear glasses. I didn't wear them for this, but I am completely blind when I take them off. And I don't like contacts because I get that like fisheye type
Mm-hmm.
of effect when I wear them where everything's whatever. So 9 times out of 10 on stage, I'm just like literally completely blind and I lose all my depth perception. So I've fallen, you know what I mean? I've fallen into barriers, fallen over things, fallen off stages, tripped over stuff. So there's not, I mean, thankfully, there's not super, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
whatever, but I have embarrassed myself by falling multiple times. You know what
I
I
think
mean?
every singer's rite of passage is taking a big fall at some point.
Yeah. I've had a few, I don't jump in the crowd anymore. I've had a few like nobody caught me moments. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just like, oh, thanks for not catching me, you know.
What is a band you love but would never wear the t-shirt?
That's a good one. A band I love. Like out in public, like you wouldn't want to go advertise publicly, like, hey, I like this
Yeah.
band. That's a really good one. I don't think I'd wear their shirt. My kids love that Weedus band. Remember that teenage dirtbag? You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's funny because I'm like, it's not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
it's so catchy.
the songwriting's really good too. Like in the on that specific, it has like a lot of like weird like preludes and like build. You know what I mean? It's actually got whatever. Um, for the sake of not being too whatever, I wouldn't wear a Weedus shirt on public, maybe.
So I don't know, you may not run the band account, but I was going to ask, weirdest DM you guys ever got on the band
Mm.
account?
I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm not allowed, but I don't have access to.
Yeah.
It would just be like a
Uh,
bull in a china shop. I would go in there and just be erasing things by mistake, and you know what I mean.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so some people in the bands like they just don't want any part of dealing with the shit either, so like they just never check. But I figured that would be more a question for Scott since he was on there talking to me.
or Jeff too. Jeff's Jeff fields a lot of that stuff, you know.
All right. And I switched this on the fly when he brought up Taco Bell earlier because the name of the podcast is called Riff Tacos because of eating Taco Bell all the time. So if you can remember in your heyday, what was your go-to Taco Bell order on the road?
It was I'm pretty basic back then at least. It was three crunchy hard shell, you know what I mean? With
Hmm.
just lettuce and cheese. And I always loved the Fiesta potatoes. Um, and then I would also, so probably three tacos, Fiesta. So when I was younger, I could put it away too. And then the rice, man, cheesy rice.
Yeah,
And
I never got that a lot, but I remember it being great.
yeah, the potatoes and the rice, man, they're the silent. My now when I go, my new favorite is, and the spicy potato soft tacos are good.
Y-
Um, I don't know, but yeah, so three hard shell, Fiesta potato, cheesy rice.
all right, so last question. If you've watched before, you may know I have Riff Tacos Spotify playlist, and I ask every guest to submit one song. So any song you want, any band, something that inspired you or means something to you, whatever you'd like to contribute to it, and I'll get Scott's later.
Okay. Is that something like tell you now, or is that
You can tell me later if you like. I always like putting people on the spot, but if you want to tell me later, I can do that. I'll just add it. I put it on the website too, so people can see who chose what.
did you hear that Witch Club Satan band yet? Have you heard of them? It's
No.
like they're like a female, they're European, but it's kind of like touted as black metal, but it's like it has like the I don't know, it's really good. I think the song's called I Wildflower or Wildflower. The video is pretty crazy too, but I liked that was like one of the last like kind of weird heavy songs I heard that I really liked. It's kind of like pump up. It's like one of those songs. It's like don't give up, don't give in,
Yeah.
fuck the motherfuckers, like type of song. You know, I was like, man, this is like, you know what I mean? This is like some like if I was going to like high school and was about to like have a shitty day, that's some stuff I would like
Yeah.
listen to on
Pump
the
you up
bus
on
to
your
get.
way.
So maybe I'll say that just to not whatever. I mean, you'll have to look at the definite. But yeah, they're
Yeah.
called
Well,
Witch Club.
which club? Satan.
Yeah.
Sorry. What was the song again?
I think it's called Wildflower or I Wildflower.
Okay, I'll find it for sure. Before we go, is there anything else you want to let people know about that you guys got coming up, shows, or when you can expect new music, maybe?
Um, we have Furnace Fest, and then the weekend after, we're actually playing a show. I'm super stoked in Brooklyn with the band Vow.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I'm super
I
pumped
love
on that,
them.
man. Yeah, I'm so excited. And then I just saw, I think they're playing around here. It must be the day before, day after. Uh, and then we do have, can't say too much. So, like, we're going to start, like, on this tour, the main thing we talked about a lot is like getting a new, like, record, you know, like full length thing started. But we do have some weird stuff done. I just don't want to, it's not like some super secret thing. I just, until we figure out a few little things, we're going to do a couple smaller releases that are kind of like, in a weird way, like something we haven't done before. If I
Nice.
can maybe intrigue with that, you know, like, but like, and there's a few songs that are already finished. There's some songs like that are being just kind of like hashed out. And then behind that is like new stuff, which we have stuff. It's just getting serious about starting to put it together. And you know what I mean? So there is a
Yeah.
lot of new stuff on the horizon. And there's like a handful of songs that are technically done. It's just we're kind of, you know, and then um, one of the things too is and it's on our end, we have to get on it, but hopefully, kind of for a while, I think Jeff's even talked about it before, but doing a split with Val. Uh,
Oh fuck yeah, that
so
would be
I think
awesome.
I believe they've had their part done for like 2 years or something. So, so
That
I'm
would be
ready.
sick.
I'm ready. Maybe we'll put the pressure on us and we can just be like, we know what we're doing and it's like started. It's just, that's another thing about being all spread out, man. You know what I mean? You lose like the synergy part of whatever, where it's like, because it's out of sight, out of mind. You don't see another band member for 2 weeks, and sometimes you don't. You know what I mean? You're not really thinking about, and maybe little parts throughout the day, but those like greater details escape you, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
But
And back in the day, you could spend, as many days as you wanted together, and it was your life, be in the practice space all week if you want. And now it's hard to do that.
yeah, and like I said, we have some stuff like kind of prepped and ready, and then, but I guess we're genuinely. I mean, like a year ago, we wouldn't have said like, yeah, we're being serious about like writing and like really
Mm,
hammering away at something. But that's the main focus. I feel like end of this year going into next summer is going to be trying to get a new record kind of worked out. And I feel like
fuck
we
yeah.
have all the pieces. It's just officially like pushing everyone to start. So
Right. Well, I'm stoked to hear it, man. And I really appreciate you guys doing this today. It
yeah,
was
man,
great to
thank
meet
you.
you. And
Thanks for having us.
yeah. And I hope to see you on Wednesday. So I will
Yeah.
talk to you after this and let you know if I can make it. I'm sure everyone or most of the people who listen to this podcast are well aware of you guys, but for anyone listening who has never heard Zayo, you can follow them on Instagram at Zayo Band. Obviously, all their records are on streaming everywhere. Definitely check out their latest record, The Crimson Corridor. I've been listening to it all week. It's fucking sick. So thank you all for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, dude.